Welcome back to lesson number 2. I hope you've been practicing drawing circles because you're going to need some circles in this lesson. Okay? I'm Kieran Siemens and I'm going to teach you some drawing tricks. Okay? So, here we go. We're going to start off with our circle. And we're going to draw a nice circle. And we're going to start thinking about some of those lessons that we've been thinking about. Some of those drawing nice, simple, basic shapes. And there's already a couple of basic to brilliant lessons there about shapes. And there's some where you've taken the basic shapes and you've drawn a hare, you've drawn a tiger, you've drawn a goat. And it's all from this basics, all from these basics of just learning your shapes. Practicing your shapes. And here we have a lovely circle. Now, what we're going to try and do here with this is we're going to try and build a face onto this. Now, as we know with a face is very simple things. You have eyes and nose and mouth and ears and okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to think about the positions on this. If we draw a line about halfway through, and this is not this is just for this lesson. It's not about teaching you how to draw a head. This is just about drawing a cartoony face using shapes, okay? We'll get to drawing real heads and things like that later on, okay? At this point here, we're going to go through and we're going to draw another circle right in the middle of it, right where that cross is. And we're going to draw a nice circle. Nice and shady, just keep it nice and light, nice and slow, nice and relaxed. And what we're going to do is that either side of this guiding line here, we're going to draw a dot, a big black dot. And that's going to represent one of the eyes. And on the other side of that line, just above the nose, we're going to draw another black dot. And that's representing our eyes. Now already with this basic thing here, we're already beginning to get some basics there with a face. Now, if we add a shape in for, like, you have a circle, what about if we took half of that circle? So a semicircle. And what about if we put it underneath that nose? Just like that. Now, if we draw that in a line right through the middle of it, and now we're just going to draw some lines straight down, okay? Straight down, straight down, straight down. Do you see what I'm doing? So now we've got a very big, happy, smiley face from our drawing. Now you can add some little basic details to it. You can put some eyebrows in there. Again, just above the dot of the eye, and a nice curve, and a nice curve. You got a very happy little face. Now, if we wanted to get a little bit more detail, we'll just try and think of the shapes that we know. We've got a little semicircle there that we've just learned to draw. Basically, it's half of a circle. So we're going to take two of those and we're going to stick them on the side, right about there. Right where that middle line goes through there. And what about if we put a nice semicircle on there? And another semicircle on there. Now we've got a basic structure of a face, a smiling face with teeth and ears, eyes, nose. And it's all with the most basic of shapes. Okay? So again, we're going to take that basic and we're going to take that to use it in another simplified form. For example, if we were to see there's a cat outside there sitting on the end of the garden, there's a cat. So let's just try and draw a cat. And we're going to do our very rough circle. And we're going to work to draw a nice shape, a nice circle. Doesn't have to be perfect. None of this lesson has to be perfect. Okay? This is all about practicing. And it's all about feeling good about what you're doing, not about the perfect result at the end. Because that is a great little goal. But we're getting into drawing here. We're getting into the enjoyment of, like, dancing, you know? You dance around in the kitchen, you feel great. And that's what we're trying to get here with drawing. Drawing circles and seeing what we can build on with circles. So, if we were to do the same as what we've done up there, but we're trying thinking about it as in a cat or something like that. Now, if we think about the basics of a cat, okay, well, a cat doesn't have ears like that. Okay, so what kind of shape can you think of as a cat's ears? Thinking about shapes, basic shapes, simple shapes. Maybe you're going to be thinking about a triangle. And that simple triangle will work out to be an ear. Now, what do we think about the cat's nose? Cat's nose is not like a man's nose. So, if you're thinking about it in a very simple shape, what kind of shape would you think it would be? It's the same, it's like a triangle, but it's like an upside down triangle. So we're going to draw a little triangle, and we're going to do it almost like upside down feeling. Okay? So if I'm to put in my basic lines here, and basically I take a nose, and I put a nice kind of triangle nose in here. Same again, I'm going to put my eyes either side. And I'm going to put my eyebrows just above. Right, well, I don't want to have big toothy smile like that, do I? I want to have a nice cat. So if we bring that line straight down from that, and we bring a little leg out on either side. Okay, just practice that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring that down. I'm going to bring that out. Now, if we take the ear and it's just a triangle, what about if we were to put it, we'd just draw some very gentle lines out from that, like a quarter of this, this section here, this quarter, and we cut that in half. Then we put a triangle there. Just a simple triangle. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now you can already start to see we have our cat shape. Now that's a very simple stage. And this is what you're going to do when you start to get into being very, very detailed about your drawing and your characters. You're going to be taking something that's very, very simple and adjusting it. And something simple and adjusting it. And when you don't know what's next to do and how to do, you're going to start breaking things down into simplest shapes as possible. Okay? So again, you can just do some little lines out, kind of giving him some kind of whisker feeling. And you've got a lovely little cat from the very, very basics of that. Now we can do that to any basic shape. So again, we're going to start to go for the next stage. The next stage is basically about breaking things down from seeing an object like the cat and starting to break that object down into the simplest form. Again, these are the very, very, very basic lessons, and take them slow and have a bit of fun with it, okay? Don't get so serious that you kind of hate to do it. You hate to pick up the pencil and you hate to do something. This is all about enjoying this process, okay? And keeping things very simple. And once you got the simple, you got the basic shapes, and you can start to add to it and start to making it really beautiful, okay? So that's what we're going to do. That is what we're going to start practicing on. And then the next stage, I'll start to take some of those shapes and starting to see an object and starting to breaking down the shapes a little bit more, okay? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next stage. Thank you very much.